3, 2, 1.
You know what I feel like doing?
What?
I feel like kicking back, relaxing, getting comfy. Welcome to the Get Comfy podcast. I'm your host, Kalo, as always, here to give you the lowdown, and I'm joined by my co-hosts.
What's going on?
The whole group is here. The whole Get Comfy group.
You're. Hey guys, what's up?
Man, you are out here. You are out here. But you know, today, instead of being out there, we're going to be up there. I don't know if that's a good transition.
In the sky?
Yeah, in the skies.
That's a Post Malone song, too.
What is?
Up there.
Up there?
On the Stoney album.
Oh, Stoney. That's his first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But, you know, to stay on track, we want to talk about the upcoming Mary Poppins movie. It's like the return of Mary Poppins.
Yes.
So this movie, if I'm not mistaken, Emily Blunt is Mary
Mary
Poppins. And this isn't like a reboot of the story.
It's a sequel, kind of.
It's a sequel or it's a continuation, like a soft reboot. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So basically what's going to happen in this movie is Mary Poppins is going to come back, but she's going to watch the kids of the kids from the original movie, if that makes sense.
Kids or?
No, it's like the kids she watched in the original movie.
Yeah.
Original Mary Poppins.
Their kids.
Their kids.
Their kids.
Gotcha.
I know that got lost in translation. Like kids of the kids who she had like.
Hot take alert. I'm not a big fan of Mary Poppins.
You're not.
I'm not.
That was my childhood movie.
I'm not. I was more a fan of Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
But because I feel like for me at a young age I was kind of similar.
Yeah.
In a little bit, in a little sense of way. So I was more a fan of Peter Pan than Mary Poppins. So hot take alert.
What's poppin', Mary Poppins?
Yeah.
Ew.
I hit you with it. I had to hit you with it.
Okay, relax, boy.
I had to hit you with it.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, like Mary Poppins is a classic. It's a staple that holds up Disney. Because, like, you know, you go on the great movie ride in Walt Disney World, the chimney sweep area. There's like a part of the ride that you go through the segment of the chimney sweeps, like chimney. I'm not gonna sing the whole song. I am not musically inclined, but like Mary Poppins is a huge deal in Disney. It's a really big deal. And if I'm not mistaken, there was kind of backlash for the old movie.
There was.
That the chimney sweep scene
Yeah.
had problems because it represented blackface.
Yeah. The issue was the original movie, and I just looked it up because I
Yeah.
don't have all my facts. The original movie came out in 1964.
Yeah.
Been on the air for 50-something years, maybe less. I could be wrong. But basically, my dad and I were watching, I think, Extra or Insider. So there was this controversy saying that the grown man, chimney sweep, who was kind of like the love interest of Mary Poppins.
Dick Clark.
People were coming at the movie because the amount of ash that was on his face.
Yeah.
People assumed that it was blackface when you could literally see pictures of the chimney sweep and the kids have some ashes on their face too. Mary Poppins might have a little bit.
Yeah.
But their main focus was on on Dick Clark as the chimney sweep.
Yeah.
Love interest of Mary Poppins, one of the main characters. The problem was they thought it was too much to the point where it was racist and it was considered as blackface, which it's not. If you look back in the 20s and 30s, blackface movie was literally, I've seen pictures where the lips weren't covered, but the entire face was.
Yeah, The Jazz Singer was a film that I seen in one of my film classes, and in the play, the guy is like a white Jewish male.
Yeah.
He has to be in a play where he's in blackface, and
Yeah.
it looks weird. And actually, tying that into a modern day issue, Gucci released like a face mask that kind of represented blackface. And
For
like
women, right?
Yeah, it was like
I saw it this morning.
It was like the red outline of the mouth,
Yep.
and the rest was black. I'm like, who approves this stuff? First of all, Yeah, what's up?
But also, you got to think about is the time this movie took place. A lot of classic Disney movies are old.
Yeah.
There was a different mindset then there is now. I know a couple of weeks ago we talked about the Santa Claus and the Rudolph the Rhino, a classic in the children. But now in today's youth, in today's time, everything that we hold dear to our house is getting questioned.
it's a product of the time.
Yeah, it's a product of the time. The time is changing. And then that's what I was saying. If you watch movies like from the 2000s or 2005, you see if it holds up still. And a lot of them, looking back, even childhood movies, even though you much like them, they don't hold up to what we expect.
Like we said in our Christmas special with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, promotes bullying apparently. Frosty the Snowman with the way the kids are dressed and everything, because it's like, oh, you're letting your kids out with like this strange thing. Making Santa Claus gender neutral. Something with the Easter Bunny apparently now too. The problem with nowadays is not only that kids are too soft, but everyone is offended by everything.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, this movie came out in 1964. Why all of a sudden now it's an issue?
Yeah.
You know what? I can't wait because the movie Mulan is coming out.
Yeah, the live action.
And I can't wait because we all know that movie Mulan, semi-realistic. It could be a lot of problems, but now with the
racial issues.
Not racial, sexist.
Yeah,
sexist too.
And gender neutral stuff like that.
Yeah.
How the movie goes. I just can't wait how that's gonna handle.
I feel like what's gonna happen, because Mulan obviously is a princess. She was one of the Disney princesses, first Asian Disney princess. The problem that's gonna happen is that when it comes to when she goes into the military because her father can't serve and she wants to protect her father, a lot of people. I'm not only just targeting feminists, but a lot of people are gonna be like, but she could do just as much as a man can.
But you also go back to the time and where it is, because over in Asia, women can't fight in the war.
Women couldn't do much; they
couldn't
stayed
do anything.
home.
And I feel like if the live action is gonna bring that part, which 100% they are, it's gonna, even though they're trying to keep it true to the story, it's still gonna get on the file. And it's still gonna be.
It's still, no matter what, nowadays everything's gonna be under fire. I feel like because Aladdin is also coming out with a live action remake. People are going to come at Will Smith for being the genie.
Yeah. But, like, again, he's blue.
But also...
And that, with Mulan, they have a chance here to execute, like, men in drag, because the men dressed up in that movie as women, put makeup on. The woman in drag, like, I don't know, is that drag, technically?
They're drag queens, and now, because female do drag, they're drag kings.
Kings. So, like, Mulan acting as a boy or a man. They have the chance here to execute on a movie that, if released in these modern times, can do very well because it has a lot of positive messages. Like, in all regards to that movie, there isn't, like, a negative connotation towards women or towards men in the same sense. It brings them up to an equal level.
Yeah, but the problem is there's going to be that handful of people that are only going to find the negatives.
Yep.
That's it. Granted, I grew up watching all the Disney princesses, and it showed how empowering women were. People don't see that nowadays. They're going to see that, Mulan as a woman is getting made fun of because she's a woman in the military and cannot do as much as a man can. That's what someone's going to find out.
And it brings me back to the point where you said, AIM, that, I was thinking of a movie, Pinocchio. There's a whole scene in which the kids go to an island. They're smoking. They're getting drunk. These are little kids. Like, a product of the times, grant you, maybe drinking back then wasn't a big deal and smoking, but, like, if you release that now, people would be outraged. That's kind of like, I don't know the technical term, child abuse, maybe? Like,
child
endangerment. There's the term. You don't see kids, like, I feel like the modern take would be, like, a kid. Like, kids on the island drinking Juuls and Four Locos. Oh, yeah. Wow.
So,
see, this is why you're here. You keep me on track, man.
Also, another thing was, my friend likes to say this, Mulan was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Because it talks about a lot of problems that currently, today's times, use, which I think, like Amanda said, if executed perfectly, this movie, it could be nominated, it could win an
Academy Award, it could win a Golden Globe, it could win an Oscar.
In the past decade, if it can handle this perfectly.
It could be like Black Panther.
It could be Black Panther, exactly. But I feel like with the gender neutral, Black Panther, as much as people say it was a great movie, it is faults. It was it was a black kid movie. But Mulan, it can handle all the problems with the genders, with the feminists, all that into one nice ball, which I'm actually excited to see.
As long as they don't cast Mulan as a white person, because they did that in Doctor Strange, where the Grand Master, or whoever the name is, like Doctor Strange's master, was a white woman. Like, as long as they nail the casting and get everything right, like, there's no, like, with these Disney remakes, you gotta follow an exact script. Like, top to bottom, this is what happens, and boom, here's the ending. You have the whole animated movie to watch, get it shot for shot, whatever. You can alternate a few things, but, like, as far as casting goes, that's your bread and butter. That's where it is.
You gotta think about a lot of live action movies and TV shows. They like Avatar, the Fire Nation were Indian. And everybody else was white. Even like in the Dragon Ball Z evolution movie, they made everyone white, which together is cartoon. It's like the James Bond problem when who's the current James Bond?
I don't know his name, but I know they were trying to do Idris Elba for the new one.
And people lost their mind because he was like,
he's black. Yeah.
And they're like, James Bond was never black. But if you guys realize, James Bond
character, you can change him anyway.
No, not only that, James Bond was actually a book. They would never say what race he was or what color he was. So the movie industry just painted him as a white British spy, even though it was never established in the books.
And an easy way to like avoid the whole James Bond thing, the way to avoid like all these superhero things, like Tony Stark is white, cut and dry. No, it's not. You can kind of classify like James Bond as a mantle that you take up. Yeah, it's like, I'm going to be the next James Bond. They do the things with Marvel. They released a few comics recently where Iron Man was not a Native American. She was a black woman.
She was also a Hispanic woman, too.
And a Hispanic woman. Like, it's not a person. Yeah. Iron Man isn't a person. Rather, they can just say it's a mantle. Like a mantle you take up. Like, I'm going to be the next one to wear the mask. Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Yeah. You know, there's two different types of Spider-Mans, and there's open possibilities to this.
Yeah, it's never... Yeah. In the comic books and in movies that get into it, it's never established that he's a white, he's this, he's Asian, he's Hispanic.
It's just the casting. At the end of the day, if someone sees you as a marketable person, then they're just going to be like, all right, you get the role. That's why they picked... I mean, I don't justify it, but like I said, Doctor Strange, they picked her as a white male or a white female because like that's what they viewed as marketable. I guess I don't know, but you know, getting back to the Mary Poppins ordeal, you had something else to say about the newer movie, right?
I don't think about the newer movie. It's mostly about the older movie.
The older movie, because do you think that they're gonna remake that scene? You know, with the chimney sweeps. Because like I know it's like a soft reboot, so they're not gonna do the same exact story. But like I seen that with Ant-Man and the Wasp, they redid that scene where his friend is retelling like a story, like fast paced.
Which is funny.
Yeah, they did that again. It was like a little bit. But do you think they might harp back to that, or do you think in like this climate it's something you avoid and just move past?
Well, to kind of stick to the original story, which you see that the live action remakes of Disney movies like Lion King, Aladdin, all those, you need to kind of stick to the original. Granted, you can make minor changes, but not enough to notice. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to keep a majority of like the main storyline. They go into an animated world, the chimney sweep scene, all that.
Yeah.
But it might be a little more modern than it was. Mm-hmm. Because as you can tell, it's the modern age, it's the 21st century. This movie was made back in the early 60s.
Yeah.
It's different.
Product of the time.
Yeah.
It is.
Like we said, it all depends on when this movie took place and if it would hold up. So like right now, like you said, with that chimney sweep, it doesn't hold up. It doesn't age well.
No,
it doesn't.
Like I've seen the pictures, you can clearly tell that the chimney sweep, that Dick Clark is not in blackface.
No, you have to,
it's like that's their job.
But you have to
that's their job.
See it.
Yeah, you're coming in as a person, but you're talking about somebody who's a parent now. You're gonna be like, oh, this movie doesn't age well because of that thing, even though you clearly know it's not.
Yeah, but all of a sudden it's not aging well because of that particular scene.
Yeah.
It's done perfectly fine from 1964 to present day.
And also in the early 2000s, it was never a problem.
Never a problem. But now all of a sudden it's a huge issue. Bullying is an issue because of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Well, bullying was always an issue.
It was always an issue, but no one picked up on that in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer until now.
For as long as it's been out.
1954, I think it came out.
Yeah.
And as of right now, it's 2019. And even though bullying has been suicide because of bullying, no one acknowledged that, oh, Rudolph is Gethsemane. They just did it for a Christmas special. But now it is.
I feel like it's not that these films are causing the problem. I feel as if, you know, they pick an issue like out of a hat, like, oh, bullying. Okay, what's a film that represents bullying?
That.
Yeah, they could be like, oh, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and you also notice these stories come out according to the time. Like if this was mid-July, you wouldn't hear anything about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer being a bully being a bully, or like that movie. But you know, you could also say that, you know, with a film like Black Panther, you know, people can say that it's a good film to represent black culture. And again, Black History Month is going to be coming up. So, you know, you have the idea that films represent something more than just superheroes and like anime characters and all that stuff.
Also, like we saying that how you said the product of the time, you also got to think that it's a majority of the millennials now, our generation, are picking these topics because of what they believe in. I was reading an article and they said that Billy and Mandy showed abuse, because you know in the show Mandy always hit Billy.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is not a children's show because it shows that children are allowed to hit. Like, I'm allowed to hit a man is allowed to hit me, and then it's all fine. They're like, but guys can't hit girls. It shows people picks topics out of nothing and making it something bigger.
But now that I'm thinking about this, Dumbo is making a live action remake.
True. Yeah.
How many people, as soon as that movie comes out and they go see it, they're going to consider it animal cruelty?
Yeah, because it's a circus animal. I know there's a whole sanctuary somewhere in Thailand where they take in circus animals and they rehabilitate them and then send them back in the wild. Like, you know, there's going to be big things about animal cruelty, blah, 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 you know. There's actually a cemetery around here, a pet cemetery.
By the Four Corners in Yonkers.
Yeah, a family dog was buried there, and we were talking to the people that ran the cemetery, and they said that there's a grave plot for a circus elephant there. It died in the circus, like at the Westchester County Center. I mean, this was like way back in like 1920s.
Yeah.
But like still, you know, all these like animals in captivity, they aren't meant to do this stuff. Like they aren't meant to get up on one leg and like dance around. Tigers aren't meant to be kept in a cage and like whipped and like tamed. Like these are wild animals. These aren't fucking house pets.
The zoos are something different because it's kind of a safety thing.
Yeah.
They're safe. They're still technically in the wild, but their space is limited. They're still protected from doing all of that. But now that I'm thinking about it, not a lot of people know this, but what you see in Disney movies is not what it actually is.
No.
There were original stories that you could actually buy the books and read them that are so much darker.
The Little Mermaid.
Read that, also Pinocchio. In high school, when I was in Italian, we read Pinocchio. Turns out there's a scene where he goes into the forest and someone hangs him. But nobody sees that.
Hell, Donald Duck was a Nazi.
Yes.
Like,
Donald Duck was a Nazi.
Also,
but here's the thing. Nobody remembers the originals because Walt Disney, granted, he's an amazing man. He did amazing work. But nobody sees the truth behind it.
Yeah.
The Little Mermaid jumped into the water, committed suicide, and became a bubble.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at every Disney movie, you always see that either the mom is dead or the parents or the legal guardian. You know why is that, right? The reason is because Walt Disney's parents died in a fire and he survived, and he blames himself for that. So now he said, and from that point on when he was younger, he was like, if I make movies, I'm going to make sure not to have a parent or a guardian or a figure, or at least have one of them alive or none of them alive. That's like Bambi's mother passed away.
And then you see in Frozen, Elsa and Anna's parents die in a shipwreck.
Yeah.
Hot take alert, or like a quick little thing.
Quick take alert?
Yeah, do you think, or do you believe in this fan theory that Anna and Elsa's parents are Tarzan's parents as well?
100%. I 100% believe it.
Because, like, you know, there was like a whole thing, like, they went on a ship. Like,
I'm 100 stripped it, send it, I'm with
imagine if
Send it.
imagine if that's like a whole work, and it's like this whole Frozen universe, Tarzan universe.
No, I
is
saw that they're
intertwined.
cousins. Apparently, they're cousins.
It was something like, their family picture was like in the castle or something. But
Also, how Tangled is in the same universe as Frozen because at the wedding.
yeah, it's crazy. Disney overlaps. They like control a lot of things.
Easter egg. You see in Little Mermaid 2, there's an Easter egg of Donald, Goofy, and Mickey.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? I want to forget about the Marvel movies. I want a Disney cinematic movie.
Disney cinematic universe.
Send it.
Yep, that's what you gotta do. But you know, I think that about does it here for the Get Comfy podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed. Remember, leave a like, subscribe, comments. We're on iTunes every morning on Sunday at 10 a.m. and we're also here on YouTube.
And Spotify.
So keep an eye out for everything. Links are down below for all the newer episodes that are going to be coming out. And we're also releasing the Get Comfy Game Break coming at you live Friday morning at 10 a.m. Better be there. No, 10 a.m. is perfect. But you know what? We will see you guys next time.
Bye.